Hi, my name is Allison Howard, and today we are going to take a little restful yoga practice perfect for the moments right before bedtime. So, if you see down below, there should be a button that looks like a pause button or maybe a play button. It's for autoplay. So, if you choose to take this practice right before bed and you don't want to be interrupted by the very next YouTube video, make sure that autoplay is turned off. Otherwise, who knows what's going to come after this. So, for this practice, all you don't even really need a mat. You can do this right beside your bed. You can do it anywhere in your home, somewhere you can be cozy. I'm going to use this yoga bolster. You are welcome to just use a pillow off your bed, and I'll use my bed as a prop actually, but you don't actually need that either. You can use some wall space if you don't have space to set up your yoga mat right beside your bed. So we'll be using the bed just for legs up the wall or lifted waterfall pose. You can just use any wall space you might have for that. So let's get started. So we will begin on hands and knees. So moving into this position on your hands and knees, you're going to really shine the eyes of the elbows forward toward the top of your mat. Grip the mat with your fingers and lengthen the tailbone down just slightly. You can leave your toes flat on the mat or tuck them under, whichever makes you feel more grounded and balanced onto your mat. And we're going to begin with some gentle cat-cow movements. So moving slowly as if through molasses as you move your spine into this cat and cow sequence. The way we traditionally do this is drop the belly and lift the gaze on the inhale. And then exhale around the spine. And take that inhale and exhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze a few times. Moving really slowly and with intention as we just slow down the body and the mind. And as you move, just make note of how your body is feeling in this moment and of the flow of breath as perhaps it begins to even out and the edges of the breath get rounder and more in sync with the movements. Come back to a neutral tabletop, neutral spine. And here we're going to take some circular movements with the hips. So pressing the hips back, around toward your heels, and down and then back up, going in one direction. And then switching that direction and going in the other direction. I don't know if you can hear it, but my floorboards in my house right here squeak a lot, which is not something you notice until you're trying to film. Slowing those movements down and taking them with intention. And when you feel balanced on the left and right directions, you can come back to a neutral spine. On your inhale, you're going to lift one arm up to the sky and exhale, thread it underneath the opposite armpit. For this thread the needle posture, you can leave your opposite hand wherever you like or tuck it around behind the back. You can also walk those fingertips forward in space toward the top of the mat. Your top arm comes forward and in front of your face now. Press into that hand in front of your face and then open up, lifting the opposite hand and lowering. We'll switch that out, take the other side, lift one arm up, thread that arm through, come down onto the shoulder, the temple. Breathe into the stretch. And then choose the placement you would like for your top arm. Whatever placement feels most restful for you in this moment, and for me right now, that is to leave my hand right beside my face. What we're going for is not the maximum expression of any pose, but to feel into our bodies enough to engage our parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest system. Press into your right hand, or whatever hand was on top, and unwind. Nice. Here, we're going to walk our feet back in space and lower ourselves all the way down onto our bellies. From here, take your right arm, and you can choose to either extend it out long into a T or bring it into a cactus position, a 90-degree angle, your choice. And then press into the left hand and wind yourself toward your right, opening up the chest just to the maximum extent feels comfortable for you. Again, we're not striving here. We're just aiming for enough sensation to allow us to focus on the body. You might choose to take your top left leg and tent it up and place the foot either behind or in front of your right knee. Two nice long breaths here. Allow yourself to unwind, lower your left shoulder back down to the mat. And we're going to take that on the other side. So choose the position for your left arm. It might be the same as the right, or it might be quite different. And roll up onto your left side. And then choose the placement you would like for your right foot. Two nice long breaths. And unwind here. Beautiful. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up and back to child's pose. You can take your knees out wide in child's pose if opening the knees allows you to perhaps hang your belly a little lower to access a more easeful position. Your hands can stretch forward toward the top of your mat in child's pose. Or if it would be more comfortable for you, you can bring your hands backward in space and rest them by the hips. Take a long, deep inhale, feeling sensation rise up the spine. And exhale, lengthen through the end of your long exhale. Take a deep inhale here. And a long, full exhale. Press yourself up. Bring your knees together if you had separated them. And come down onto your back. Knees tent upward toward the ceiling. Here in this kneeling pose, here in this prone position on your back, you might like to find a pillow or a block if you have it. And we're going to lift our hips up and place our hips down on top of that prop. Just finding a slightly elevated position for the hips. You can walk your feet outward toward the outer edges of the mat and allow your knees to fall in. Smooth out the edges of the breath, the inhales and the exhales. Soften into your body. When you begin to feel ready, you can walk your toes and heels in toward one another. Press into the feet, lift the hips up. Remove your prop off to the side. And we're going to I've set myself up here beside the bed for a reason. If you're not beside your bed, you can always move up against a wall. We're going to take a sort of elevated, a waterfall position, legs up the wall, legs up the bed. Scooting your backside up against whatever prop you're using. And lifting your feet upwards toward the sky. Just getting your feet higher than your heart here. You can allow the hands to rest on the belly. And really feel the breath entering the body, ballooning up the belly, because I want you to really breathe long into the belly here. You can relax the toes and the ankles. If you're using the quadricep muscles to stretch the heels up toward the sky, see if you can allow them to relax without losing the inversion. Soften the muscles on the back of the neck. The forehead. The jaw. Feel into sensation here. Take a long inhale. And a complete exhale. To come out of this waterfall or legs up the wall pose, you can just allow yourself to roll over onto one side and then press yourself up using the strength of your arms, and find yourself back on the center of your mat. You're going to lie out onto our mat and find a comfortable position set up for Savasana. If you'd like to go ahead and head up to your bed, you're welcome to do that as well. One option would be to take whatever prop you used for our bridge pose and bring it underneath your knees. I really find that this helps a lot in keeping my low back comfortable in Savasana. So you choose your own adventure and meet me lying flat on whatever surface you choose. Palms of the hands shine up toward the sky. Knees can split open here. You can allow your eyes to fall shut if they are not already there. Soften just 10% more. And from here, can you find another 5% that you could soften? You're welcome to stay here in Savasana as long as you like.